Coming up this morning, heavy rain is causing all sorts of problems across eastern Kentucky. Knott County officials are running out of money and have declared a state of emergency. Plus, some eastern Kentucky students are supporting a bill aimed at stopping teen vaping and e-cigarette use.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. We are just shy of 6 o'clock on Wednesday, February the 20th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in Mountain News this morning. Well, it's a soggy start to your Wednesday on this hump day. Let's bring Brandon in this morning. And Brandon, we have issued a severe weather alert day yesterday for the impending rain, or actually Monday afternoon for the impending rain yesterday and today. It's starting to pan out. What do people need to know as they leave their houses and go to work or school today?
Be careful of ponding water. Now, there are some closings and delays on the bottom of your screen. Most of those due to illness, but keep an eye on that, WYMT.com as well. But again, ponding water is going to be a real issue this morning. We had some heavy rain overnight, and that trend is going to continue off and on throughout the daytime hours. So take a look at the camera network here to get you started this morning. And we're looking at UVA-wise, and again, back and forth all night. Some fog, maybe just a little bit of clearing, at least briefly this morning. But over Whitesburg, you see some wet roads there. And again, anywhere that had some heavy rain overnight, and that was quite a few areas. We heard it pounding on the roof here at WYMT overnight. It's going to be continuing to see a little fog and a little bit of ponding water on the roads, which basically means, I keep saying that, if you go fast and you hit that ponding water, you're going to hydroplane there. At least there's a chance for it. So just keep that in mind. Travel slow this morning. A line of showers and storms will move in from central Kentucky later this morning. So if it's dry for now, you're thinking, oh, I can get by without my umbrella. You'll regret it later. Visibility rough in areas to the north along the I-64 Mountain Parkway and into central Kentucky, and we're going to see those temperatures climb. 50 right now in Monticello, but still 35 in Ashland, up a degree from a few minutes ago. Statewide temperatures, all that warm air surging in from the south. We'll get to right around 58 this afternoon, so a normal day on the coffee meter as you head out the door this morning. Maybe just a little bit of fog outside that will slow you down just a hair. Have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, this rain is something several Kentucky counties have had to battle since last week. We've told you about the rocks and mudslides in eastern Kentucky. In southern Kentucky, officials have already started to close roads ahead of the rain to come. Meteorologist Adam Burniston has more.
I can say it's just amazing to see it like this, really. I mean, it's something in a lifetime you hardly see too many times.
After last week's heavy rains, areas along the Rockcastle River have become flooded, including Bee Rock Campground, where a walking bridge across the river has become covered by several feet of water. And as more heavy rain threatens the area again, several residents have concerns about other low-lying areas.
There's areas I worry about in the county. Where my brother-in-law lives, it floods down there pretty bad.
Now, according to some other local residents I spoke to, there were some campers back on this campground. However, they left earlier this morning as forestry officials start to close down the area.
I anticipate this whole area that we're standing in right now to be underwater probably by Wednesday evening, if not Thursday morning. So until Wolf Creek Dam can start, letting some water out, we're going to be the place here that's going to be holding quite a bit of it.
And before water levels become even worse later this week, forestry officials are going through campgrounds, tying down tables and closing off areas due to public safety concerns.
We want to make sure that folks can have a good spot to turn around. We don't want them to get in here after dark and get, in a soft shoulder or get somewhere where water could rise and be troublesome for them.
Adam Burniston, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, the ground of the Cumberland Valley is already drenched from rainfall during the past week. That is worrying officials in Bell County, who are all too familiar with major flooding the rain can bring. This is video of a park yesterday. A little puddling of water, but no flooding yet. What worries them is how quickly a few inches of rain can flood the Cumberland River and turn this area into a running river.
We're trying to get everything in order, and it concerns us that there's so much rain coming. It's hard to get a bead on how much that it's going to make the river rise, but we know that we have a saturated ground, and anything that falls, a lesser amounts that maybe normally wouldn't cause you problems will cause us problems because it's all just running off into the rivers.
Now, as of yesterday, the Cumberland River was at about 983 feet, about 10 feet higher than it should be. With 1 to 2 inches of rain expected through Thursday morning, that could cause the river to rise an additional 10 to 12 feet. Well, heavy rainfall both in and around Lake Cumberland is causing problems. There was a rock slide closing part of busy US 127 near Wolf Creek Dam, where engineers are letting thousands of cubic feet of water out of the lake every second. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on the impact of the rainfall in that area.
Many are saying the same things when taking a look at Lake Cumberland.
I really haven't seen it this high before.
Those high levels and all the water rushing out of one of Kentucky's largest lakes is what brought the shepherds out also.
I just thank God he heard the popping, because I was so into getting pictures, I didn't even hear the popping.
Watching the impact of the weather on the lake when nearly becoming a part of another impact of that same weather, as the rain-soaked, saturated ground caused the cliff above them to break loose and come crashing down.
And about that time is when the rock slide came down.
They say some of the pieces were as big as small SUVs. By Tuesday, most of it was cleaned up and the road was open to one lane.
And it's a straight up and down rock wall that is within a few feet from your vehicle when you're driving down the road.
State transportation officials say they'll keep a close eye on the area, but no more rock fell since Monday night. It happened just above Wolf Creek Dam, which is releasing more than 25,000 cubic feet of water every second, as Lake Cumberland is nearing levels not seen since 1998.
There was a place on the way to work where there was a couple trees that had fallen over because the ground was so saturated with water.
Same reason this cliff came down and where the shepherds are still counting their blessings.
It'll be a long while before I go back down there again.
In Russell County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, as U.S. Army Corps of Engineer officials tell us that the Lake Cumberland level is only 11 feet shy of the May 1984 record. Well, like so many other school districts, Pike County is struggling to keep attendance up because of sickness. They canceled for the rest of the week. A partial county government shutdown was announced last month. Just 4 weeks later, officials in Knott County are declaring a state of emergency. As of now, the Knott County Road Department only has about $35,000 in its account. The problem is that over the past week, the county has seen more than $150,000 in damages to county roadways because of severe weather. At a Knott County Fiscal Court meeting yesterday evening, 2 new taxes were proposed, 2% occupational tax and a 4% insurance tax. Officials say the insurance tax would raise about $600,000 a year.
We've cut everything that we possibly could cut to try to save every dollar that we can. We're just in such of a deep rut that this is kind of where we're at.
Now that money would help pay for county road repairs, bond payments for the Knott County Sportsplex, and it would bring back insurance for county employees. With the state of emergency being declared, county officials hope they will receive aid from the state to make necessary repairs. Well, students in Johnson County are sponsoring a bill in the Kentucky State Senate. Senate Bill 218 is hoping to address kids smoking Juuls in schools. The kids from Juul Breakers at Johnson County Middle School, along with Senator Brandon Smith, have drafted legislation that will deal with awareness programming, anonymous reporting, a tip hotline, and investigation and punishment, hoping to get kids to stop.
There should be restrictions or rules that say that they can't use all of the younger models and the cool flavors to attract us.
Now, we have more information on our website at WYMT.com if you support this bill and want to help it get passed. Well, yesterday, Perry County Police arrested a man after a disturbance at the Justice Center. While a CSO was speaking with 36-year-old James Combs, police say he attempted to run from the officer, assaulting a court security officer in the process. Combs was taken into custody and transported to Hazard ARH for treatment. He faces several charges, including third-degree assault and disorderly conduct. Well, a report of a woman passed out in her car led to a drug bust in Hazard. Police say they found Teresa Muncie in her car at the Daniel Boone Plaza. Inside, investigators say they found drugs seen in this picture. They charged Muncie with DUI and possession of meth and drug paraphernalia. In the Cumberland Valley, family members still need help finding Jessica Caldwell. She was last seen in Bell County last June. Anyone with information about where Jessica might be is asked to call Kentucky State Police Post 10 in Harlan. That number is 606-573-3131. Well, a Delta Airlines flight made an emergency landing in Tennessee after a lightning strike yesterday. The MD-90 was en route to Atlanta from Milwaukee when it was hit. Pilots diverted to Chattanooga, Tennessee, where they landed safely. Chattanooga airport officials say none of the 164 people on the plane were hurt. Delta says it will inspect the aircraft to figure out what damage may have been caused. Another plane was called in to get the passengers to their final destination of Atlanta. Well, some teachers at Belfry High School are instructing in a unique way. Students are learning science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, also known as STEAM, through Skype calls with the school in Bosnia. Students show off the skills they are learning while Bosnian students ask questions. Colonel Dom Amburn says this is a great opportunity to expose the students to different cultures.
It gives our students the opportunity to meet someone from a different culture, an entirely different culture than their own, and a part of the world they would never have been exposed to, and vice versa for the kids in Bosnia.
Now, Colonel Amburn says he hopes to keep the program going for years to come. We have more information on the school collaboration on our website over at WYMT.com.
New alert tell you about this morning out of Whitley County. Let's take a look at that. The Cumberland River at Williamsburg, flood warning until Friday at 2:30 p.m. So the river rising there this morning. That other active flood warning over at the Kentucky River at Ravenna, ending in parts of the area at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and then Saturday morning at about 2 o'clock in the morning too. So watching all that, watching all this rain continuing to work its way toward our area from the west. We're going to keep a very close eye on that throughout the morning hours. Visibility pretty rough in areas where the rain is still falling this morning. Temperatures climbing 50 in Monticello right now, 35 in Ashland. That's the contrast zone, and temperatures much warmer in some spots than they were this time yesterday. Will?
All righty. Well, thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. The number of young women hospitalized for heart attacks has increased in recent years, and a new study finds that fentanyl is being overprescribed.